everyone! Welcome to my latest installment of PongoPuppies Plays Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. Actually, I don't want to go in this way. I'll go in the other way. And in this one, we're going to try and finish up Kew Gardens, but I don't know how much more we have to do. See, I looked at that. Oh, did I look at that?
A water tank.
No, I did. So I'm not sure how much more we have left to do in this one, so it might be this video or it might be the next video. I'm not sure. There's Miss White. We are going to go to the front of the building. I'm going to run around the walls. See if there's anything I missed. Oh, like that. For example, the thing right there in front of me.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
Man, this guy was super narcissistic. He had a bust made of
the
him.
marble that we found.
Well, it looks like it does.
Here it is.
There, all done. You're fixed.
The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
Well, they're the same. I mean, clearly we put it together like a big puzzle. We can't take it. We're just going to leave it there. Watson, move. Thanks, Watson. Alright, let's see. We're back towards the front now. We gotta go to this door. Because we didn't go through, we went through the other door.
Locked.
Well, not anymore. Come, Watson. Champagne.
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste.
It seemed, I mean, he was supposed to be a drunkard, right? This
French
seems
wine.
way too
A remarkable
expensive
vintage.
for that kind of hobby. Oh, I don't want to go through that door. Oh, time for some safe cracking. Oh, that didn't work. Nope, okay, we were good. Like that. Like that. Alright, so we're just gonna go until it tells us not to go, right? Like that. Right there, I think it was. They look even, so I'm gonna just go to the next side. Okay. And then I'm gonna go all the way around and see. Hey! Good for us. The thing in the middle is getting bigger. Hey! Good for us. First try. Dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I'm paying you to defend me, not accuse me! Exclamation point. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the great opportunity to travel the world and to save the most extraordinary, precious and rare species of plant. Our duty is to protect such species and from those who might wish to use them for dubious purposes. This divine syndicate, in quotation marks, of whom you speak of, has no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14th, 1889? Well, Sherlock's about to. So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permissions on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The document was sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in the bodies on Tuesday as always. Okay, so he's in a private club or something with his attorney, which is a good place to be. Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions, in exclamation points, are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies! Exclamation point. The lie, we not need to elaborate, that was reported in the press as the case of June 14th, 1889. Well, that's two people who mentioned this case. We need to look this up. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you, and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. Let me guess. Yep. Search the archives for June 14th, for the case of June 14th, 1889. That so many people talked about. Oh, we didn't get kicked out of here, so there gotta be another
I suggest
letter.
that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Ooh, what did we find? Debt of Miss Margaret White to Mr. Montague Dung. Rental of suite rooms at Oxford Street. And education scholarships at the London University. Credits opened at Hamilton. Radigan House. Tailors at Bard and Sons Luxury Jewelers. He's keeping a tab on her? Maybe. Are they sleeping together? Because, you get to do that. You don't get to keep a tab on them if you're sleeping with them. I want to look at those gloves. Alright, I want to look at anything. There we go.
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
Makes sense. I really don't want to read them. New plant species! Exclamation point. The Kew Gardens is pleased to announce the successful production of a new variety of barley, one that retains a complete resistance to the cold. They have named it the Siberian barley. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning upon this very subject. Hey, Martin got something instead of Montague. That's cool. He never gets mentioned. Alright, I got this letter. My dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it might be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. You cannot start something with my dearest and end the first sentence and end the first paragraph and the first sentence with you should vacate your position. You should just leave. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say. Well, I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. That is the worst kind of breakup letter. That's worse than a text. That is like old school text. Oh, man. Was he like... Alright, so they were sleeping together.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Oh, Martin's dad, I assume. So they gotta have been sleeping together and he just had a bad breakup. Because, I mean, his son liked her and he's way more his son taste than, being the same age and everything. Hey, Martin, we got some things we gotta talk to you about. Like that.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks.
Wow, how nice.
Botany is
You're
not
useless.
his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Well,
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert.
yeah,
That is,
you tell him he's useless.
Except for Miss Margaret White,
Useless,
who was such
and
a
you're
nice
poor
lady
Albert.
and who always takes pity on Albert.
Is she sleeping with him or his dad? Is she sleeping with both of them? Is she sleeping with all
You
three of you?
mentioned Miss
Who is she
White.
sleeping with?
Would you tell us more about her?
Yes,
She
please.
is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed.
You're
She
interested in
possesses
her
a
too.
great talent for botany.
Have you
We should
guys
take
never
look at
seen a
some of her
woman before?
experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and
Well,
wonder.
you did give her jewels. That
Mr.
does help.
Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No,
Liar.
I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
Photograph with father.
I do not think so.
Gotcha.
This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us
I'm
more
the
about
world
your
famous
father.
investigator Sherlock
He
Holmes.
was
I
indeed
make
the
my
greatest
rights
botanist of his
to
time
go
in the
into
British
people's
Empire.
stuff.
He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that.
No one got
They
along well with the guy
expanded Kew
that died.
Gardens together, that was all.
That's what makes
And
this
it was
game
all
so
my
hard.
father's
Everybody wants to
work.
kill him.
But Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Well, there's your motive.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
He did have one of
But
those.
why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
Liar. We found it broken.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought
Yeah,
to have
got
been
you
removed
again.
during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
Or who cleaned
I have
up.
no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any
Surely.
more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Bye, Mr. Hamish. We're gonna go talk to everybody else. Hey, Albert.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you
Liar.
quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
Liar. Oh. Let's see. Let's do Albert's hopes. That looks like the right one.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
He
that's
didn't go through your
correct.
personal belongings or
In
anything.
fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, that's terrible.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Alright, I want to go talk to Miss White and see who she's actually sleeping with. Just because I can't figure it out. It has no bearing on the case whatsoever, other than to establish motive. But, honestly, I'm just super curious. Who is she sleeping with? Oh. Yeah, I should have gone in the room instead of going all the way around. Oh, it lagged on me for a sec.
Poor Mr. Montague Dunn. It is so awful.
After he broke up with you and left you out in the cold, I would assumed you wanted to kill him. I know I've been wanting to kill some of my exes. Yeah. Never did. Clearly. That's just a figure of speech. I never actually tried to kill any of my exes. Oh, you know what? Let's just go back to Baker Street. I have a lot of stuff to look up. Like all this stuff. So I'm gonna go to Baker Street. Alright, Baker Street. I'm gonna go to Baker Street and look up some of that stuff, and then grab Toby and head back to Kew Gardens. That should work. Alright, let's... Wow, we got a lot of stuff we gotta search for. Alright, list of exotic plants. So let's go to the encyclopedias and look up botany. Let's look up exotic plants. These plants have a certain toxicity in common, more or less variable. More or less variable. Only the first 3 can be dangerous to humans, particularly those ones, but under very specific circumstances. This plant should react to a process of aggregation against which it will issue deadly
Here it
spores.
is.
So it's not always deadly, I guess is what they're trying to say. Only when they're agitated. That's cool. What am I looking up now? Symbol in the broken flower pot found in the backyard. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens. The graph means divine, if I am not mistaken. Alright, let's look up our encyclopedias again. Probably not art and architecture. Technology, history, medicine, botany again? Maybe not.
That is
not
not
that
the one I need.
Alright, probably not botany then. Let's see. Nothing there that I can see. Nothing there I can see. Where? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a newspaper. Research? I haven't tried this one yet. None of those. None of those. 3 steps to surviving a waterfall. Oh my gosh. That's from, Reichenbach Falls. It's a book. Sherlock falls and dies, and then the end of the series. But then, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was like, man, I miss writing Sherlock Holmes books. So he's like, by the way, he survived, and it's been a couple of years. Watson's wife's dead, and now they're back to being best bros. And they're solving crimes together. That is a really, really funny, joke they put in there. I appreciate that. Let's see. There we go.
Here it is.
Alright.
The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here.
Alright. Look, we got more stuff to look up. The symbol on the flower pot found on Kew Gardens, the pot does not belong there. Alright, let's look at the same place now that we were... That one. Yep, same one up in the corner there. Garden equipment and supplies. We are the premium supplier for all your landscape gardening and timber requirements. Full range supply and delivery of sand, soils, mulches, pots, and anything else you need. Alright, well, these guys just supply
Here it
fancy
is.
pots. No big deal. They're like the garden section at Walmart. One more thing. Search for the case of June 14th, 1889. Since it gave me both the day and the year... Whoops, wrong button. Let's go to the newspaper, since the newspaper is laid out that way. And it's right there. Scandal at the Divine Syndicate Club. The Divine Syndicate Club followers of the Good King, whatever, situated on an actual address, protectors of plants, and more particularly trees, are currently the subject of an administrative investigation. The leaders of this organization are suspended of financial malfeasance. Bad financials. It may be that that this investigation will lead to charges of criminal charges. Meanwhile, many voices have risen high against this inspection, denouncing the state. In fact, a private organization which has given its goal in defense and protection of nature, and which incorporates representatives of the opposition party. Alright, so,
Here it is.
you know, they protect plants.
And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
Alright, so now I can go there. But first, let's grab Toby and head back to Kew Gardens. Watson,
Someone should take Toby for a walk. Have
What?
you found something interesting?
what are you looking at? What is he
Come
looking
on,
at?
Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens.
Okay, let's go to Kew Gardens. I will just, I was just there. Let me go back over there. There we go, Kew Gardens. We'll go back to Kew Gardens, and we'll be able to see what's up there. Oh, that's cool. This time Sherlock and Watson are both in the cab with Toby. Last time it was just Watson and Toby, and I thought that maybe they just switched Toby out for Watson for his, companion. But it looks like all three are there this time. That's good. Everyone should be able to take Toby for a walk. Isn't that right, Toby? So we are on our way back to Kew Gardens. Look at Toby. So we are on our way back to Kew Gardens to use Toby's super sniffer to try to see if we can find a lead. Because there were some strong chemicals and some weird flora smell in the air. Alright, Toby, get to work. Do your stuff. I would just add a loading screen. I don't need the black one. There's not as much fun stuff to look at. Just give me a picture of Toby.
Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance.
Good idea, Sherlock. Let's go. Be cool if I got
Search,
to walk
Toby.
him.
Search.
Hey, is this a way? Is that this door? Toby can open doors by himself. Toby is not a fast runner. I hope we don't have far to go. Toby's coming, guys. Toby's coming, guys. What's this way? We haven't been back here yet. Hidden place. Good job, Toby. We probably can't bring dogs here, right?
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found.
Hidden bottle.
This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes. A tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
Alright, let's see. Fetch Toby completed. Fetch Toby. Let's see. Perform analysis back at Baker Street and dialogue. I think we have to go to the Divine Syndicate for that dialogue. Find the stolen plants, find the plant that was used to kill Mr. Montague Dung, find out who killed Montague Dung, and find out what the Divine Syndicate is concealing. Looks like we have to go to the Divine Syndicate now. Great. So let's head over to the Divine Syndicate.
If I go there, Toby will wait for me in the cab.
That's fine. Toby can wait in the cab. I didn't know I'd have to go back to Baker Street to let him back in the house. Look at Toby's still coming! That's nice. But we finished doing what we needed to do with Toby. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't just jump back into Baker Street. I guess we have to go back to Baker Street to let him out. Which is fine, because we have to go back to Baker Street anyway to perform analysis. So...
This place is beautiful.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
Like that guy. Oh, listen to that music. This is really pretty. Everybody should look like this. Oh. I got a prompt on my run. Over here. I don't know what the prompt was for. Oh. Oh, there we go. Broken pieces.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
Cover. Hey, look at all them flower pots. And from
The Kew
Kew
Gardens
Gardens.
symbol.
Gotcha. You stole the flowers.
A fragment of a flower pot.
And then you broke them. Alright, let's talk to this guy. The Tai Chi master. Wow, look at this sand. That's cool.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock.
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance, do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
Oh, come on.
Completed is the symbiosis. Welcome you are. To introduce myself I shall. I am the Green Grand Mystic.
The Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are
Oh,
two
he dropped
gentlemen
his
who
Yoda
are
impression real quick. Who
extremely
am I speaking to?
interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Alright, let's do a portrait. Real quick. Let's get this dragon tattoo. And the hands. Fingertip calluses. And burn marks. Acid burn. Chemical practice. Alright, got the character portrait done.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
God, Sherlock's really laying on
It is a
thick.
school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate. Glory to the eukaryotic.
Glory to
Only
the
true
eukaryotic.
devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize. in
He's
sharing
not even saying real words at this
are
point,
permitted
right? I mean,
to
he's
physically
totally making
enter
up
our
words.
vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
Let's see. There we go.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
Why didn't you break them?
Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search. Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens.
Oh,
a
you
matter
dropped
of
that. I was
days
like,
ago.
nope, I'm done
And we
listening to
believe
this
the
crap.
pots we found here
I'm Sherlock
may
Holmes.
be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
And then we stole them
How
back.
so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens.
Green
But
fly.
he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved.
We saved
Well, as a
them.
matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Oh my god, is it really Treewind?
Our God King's name is Treewan, Green
Oh my
Grand
god,
Mystic.
Treewan.
Oh, la. Good. I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Of course it
Thank you
is.
so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
That's like a drug, right?
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
It's gotta be some sort of...
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
It's gotta be some sort of drug, right? I mean, raw sap from the burdens of life, it will... Hey, I locked Watson out. Watson, are you not coming in with me? Also, I kind of want to see where the sap is. Oh, drug stable,
That
it just
should
said.
be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of.
Well, don't take it.
It is rather delicious and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
That's what Sherlock does, right? Is it heroin or cocaine? I can't remember. It's one of the two. Oh, Watson's back. We locked him outside, but he's back now. Sherlock's like,
This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
yeah, why not? We're here. Alright, another one of these puzzles. Oh, another one of these slider puzzles, too. Alright, so it looks like they're already locked, but we probably need them to be locked slightly. That looks good. Get in there. Yeah, that looks good. Just stop moving for a second so I can move you myself. Alright, that's nothing there. That doesn't line up anyway, so let's move that around a bit. Alright, that kind of works. Nope, it doesn't. There, does that work? That seems to work. So far so good. Nope, I wanted to keep that. Alright, let's see. There's a line right there. Oh, move that down a bit. There we go. Hey, we got it! Alright, good job, everybody. Let's see, what's in here? Is it like an opium den?
These instruments are used for smoking opium.
Alright, so Dewey becomes one with the plants by inhaling them. This is an opium den. Alright, well, you know. Where would a Sherlock Holmes story be
This
without an
cabinet
opium
is
den?
full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens.
They're not also making opium, are they? Or is that just... a
That would be
coincidence?
enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments.
I think Sherlock's a little jealous. He's like, I want my chemical set to be that cool. Well, Watson won't let me.
A vast
Clearly
amount
that's not
of
what he
opium.
says. But... well, they like their opium here, Sherlock. I don't know what to tell you. It's a very small opium den. You go that way. Let's talk to you.
Osmosis and photosynthesis.
Alright,
This
try...
must be Treewan, the Divine Syndicate's god.
Okay. A dude who turned into a plant tree thing. Good for you. Is there another opium den over on this side? What do you have a cage for? It's not like any of these plants can get out. Oh, for the caterpillars.
They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them.
Let's just take them. Let's just take them all. Oh, Watson's seen so much he doesn't even question it anymore.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
Alright.
A tropical plant. Nothing of interest.
So why keep them behind a cage? Man, these plant people are crazy. It'll probably be the last ones we look
Nothing
at.
of interest.
That's how it goes, right? The
A
last
tropical
one you
plant.
look at is
Nothing
the
of
important
interest.
one. That's why they put it all the way at the end of video games. Probably. Just in case I overlook it, I'm gonna check all of them, even though it's probably the last one.
A tro-
Yep.
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
Well, that's because they took them. Or maybe they didn't. They did say they couldn't find them. Alright. So now where am I going? I have to perform analysis. And that's all I have to do. So let's go back to Baker Street. We got Toby in the car anyway. So let's take him back to Baker Street to Hi Toby! Toby's the dog. In case you're unaware. In the Disney movie from a long time ago, the animated one, The Great Mouse Detective, they rode Toby. They're little mice and they rode Toby. It's really cute. I like that movie a lot growing up. Alright, so now we're back at Baker Street. Toby is happy, looking at windows. Watson's practicing that weird meditation.
This green, grand, mystic fellow seems rather suspicious, Holmes.
Then why are
What
you...
should we do next?
Then why are you doing it? Watson, you got some moves, though. Good for you. Let's do some analysis now while Watson gets in touch with his inner plant.
Here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis.
Alright, that's easy. Just pour liquid.
This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens. Let us use a pipette to take a sample of the liquid and fill a test tube.
Alright, let's do that. Here's a pipette. Here's a sample. And there's the test tube. Alright, we'll do both of them. Make sure we get it good and ready.
A colorless, water-based liquid.
Okay. If it's a plant, that makes sense.
Quite a strong
Inhale like
floral
this.
aroma.
Well, it's a
Holmes?
plant again. No!
What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So, what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
There's a doctor nearby. Like, he takes a lot of liberties he wouldn't take if it wasn't for Watson, I think. I want to turn off the Bunsen burner.
Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you.
Alright. I wanted to turn off the Bunsen burner. I'm afraid he's going to burn down his whole house. And then Mrs. Hudson would be very upset. See, I can't turn it off.
Red sediment, just as I suspected.
You want to let me
This
in?
liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This
Okay.
mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
I wonder who, and I wonder why. Alright, so what do we still have left to do? Well, it tells me I have to make a deduction, so let's do that. Alright. Poisoning, devil's traps. Oh, deadly plant stolen? Deadly plant stolen? Let's do the sex stolen. Let's see, what else should we do? It still tells me to make a deduction, so let's do missing deadly plants stolen. Nope, didn't have to do that way. Alright, let's see. Miss White's family refused to assist her financially. Oh, White and Dunn. The money that Montague Dunn regularly gave to Miss White far exceeded the needs of a student. And he just fired her. Oops, I always do that. Okay, let's get some of these out of here. White's studies in the social situation were completely dependent upon Montague Dunn's wealth. Well, they were, together, kinda. I hit the right button that time, I swear. Alright, let's see. Let's just click a bunch of things. Alright, those didn't work. Oh, hey! 2 of them connected. Alright. Set up the experiment. Set up the alkaloid from a chemical laboratory and the caterpillars to perform the experiment with the deadly plants. Okay. Let's go connect some more clues together. To get some of the stuff hooked up. That's Hamish's motive. Nah, that's good. Perform analysis. Okay, well, we got something new to do.
According to the deadly plants information, in order to perform our experiment, we will need fertilizer and food. Caterpillars should do nicely. According to the...
Okay. So now I go get fertilizer? Set up an alkaloid and chemical laboratory in the caterpillars and perform the experiment with the deadly plants. I miss them somewhere? The alkaloid? Let's do the two with Albert. There's Albert's motive. Hey, we got a couple of things to... The Syndicate killed Dung. The Divine Syndicate planned the death of Montague Dung. They had been involved in a dispute with Dunn over the stolen plants. Let's continue the investigation. That's probably not it.
According...
I have the caterpillars. Do we not have... Do I gotta go back to Kew Gardens? I wonder if I missed something. What did I miss? Huh, I'm not sure what I missed. Evidence required. What am I missing?
According to the deadly plants information, in order to perform our experiment, we will need fertilizer and food. Caterpillars should do nicely.
Alright, well I got the caterpillars. Do I have to go back to Kew Gardens? Did I miss some fertilizer? I don't know. I wonder where it went. Why? How I missed it. Following the internet. It didn't tell me to take anything I haven't taken yet. I don't know where it is and I'm missing something. I'm not sure. We're so close to solving this mystery, too. I hate to get stuck on this one part. Probably some little line of dialogue in there, and it's like, and take that. I was like, well... Alright, let's see. Let's go in the laboratory. See if there's fertilizer in here. Sorry, Watson. I'd like to go over there, but I can't. Where is it? Did I take the alkaline bottle? I must have. I'll make sure to cut this part out when I put it on YouTube, so it's not as long. Where is the thing I'm missing? I don't know. That's so weird. Alright, let's go back.
The list of plant friends and benefactors, lawyers, well-known manufacturers, political leaders.
All of us in this opium den.
This substance is an alkaloid. Perfect, Watson.
I picked that up. Alright, well, I had to go back to Q. You know what? I'm just gonna go back to Baker Street and get it. And just cut all of that out. Okay, I had to go back to the Divine Syndicate and pick up something that I totally picked up, but did not register as picking up until just now. So, if I cut out a
one
bit.
of these plants
There we
would
go.
be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask.
Oh, where's that? There it is.
A carnivorous plant.
Oh, they're all gonna say that. Right, here's a caterpillar. Oh, that's cool. Oh, neat. What if I put one over here?
This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars.
Okay. Can I put the... Yes, I can. Great. What if I poured liquid on it?
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being...
Huh.
This
That one
plant
just closed
becomes
right up.
inactive after...
Alright. So that one's open now, so let's take that and put
This
that
plant
here.
seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars.
Huh. If I do that again. That'll eat it. That'll spew everywhere. And that'll create some weird chemical
Toxic
thing.
gas with spores. Extraordinary.
So it had to get shot with the spikes. That's
The
cool.
plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
He's
It is
thinking
too
like
early,
Watson,
Watson.
or like
Our suspects
Sherlock.
will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
Alright, back to Kew Gardens. Oh, they gave me a little prompt to do some things. Oh, let's just go to Kew Gardens. And ask some questions. I wonder what we have to ask. Alright. Just kind of chilling out, not really doing much, thinking about stuff. Alright, let's talk to people. Let's of course start with Martin, since he's always here.
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
I don't think Sherlock
What
jokes.
a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
I think that's a
Can
lie.
you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30.
Son.
He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly, I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert.
Instead of going to
I
Mr.
clearly
Dunn.
remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
So we're gonna have to put together a timeline based on all these people's times that they give us, I bet. Poor
Your
guy.
father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious. Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Poor guy.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes, he came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr.
Alright,
Hamish
so
and Miss
we're gonna have
White,
to put together
what
a
were they
timeline of
both
events,
doing
I
that
bet.
morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to
They're
tell
very
me that my
good
father
about
was feeling
times here. It was
unwell.
10 past 10, half past
We
10,
hurried
20
across
minutes
to
to
the
10.
water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Oh, he was the one to find his father.
Tell me,
Poor
have
man.
you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Alright, let's go talk to Miss
Thank
White.
you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
And Miss White should give us her recollection of the day and give us those times. And then we'll be able to put together a timeline of events. Probably. I don't know. Maybe we'll still be missing some. At least we'll have some of it. So every weekend, for like 2 years. My husband and I have done movie night, and I gotta tell you, this last movie we saw was on iTunes. It was called Final Girls, and it's like the spoof on like 80s
Can you tell me what Mr.
slasher
Dunn was doing
at
upon the day of his death?
camp
I
drama
can,
or
but there is
scary
nothing
films. It was
very
really, really
special to
funny.
say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me.
And this
Tuesday is
weekend
the
we're
day
gonna
of his
go
weekly
see
visit. It was supposed to
Star
be
Trek
at
in the
9,
theaters.
but he was
I
10
think
minutes late.
that'll be real
as
fun. I'm
usual.
excited for that.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning.
They went
And I saw
specifically to
him
tell you
spend
good morning.
2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house.
I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
Well, if someone's
What exactly were you
screaming, then
doing
yes.
in the laboratory?
Something is
I was
wrong.
recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
The
right, last
Divine
one.
Syndicate. Does that name mean anything to you, by any chance?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
She thinks it's a pretty name. The first one thought it was a
Thank you, Liz.
ridiculous name. Sometime later.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
Awesome. Alright. So we did that. Alright, let's see. Can I open that? Or can I only open that? Let's see. Inhaling the spores. Escaping the room. Did I miss a step? Yeah, that looks right. Yeah, that looked right. I don't know why I didn't accept it when I picked it. But it looked good.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome.
Yep.
Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system.
What are we going to do on the ventilation system? Place caterpillar.
The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
Watson, stay
Holmes.
precisely underneath the ventilation duct so that you can catch my caterpillars. Oh. I am supposed to follow the ventilation duct, I believe. Which is why it's bright. But I kind of already know where it goes. It goes... Whoops. That's not the door to go away. Wow, my goodness. I went out the wrong door for sure. Hey, I'm outside. Alright. Let's follow this he goes over there. Over there, into that room. Into this room here. In here. Over here. We knew that's where it would end up. Let's see. Let's turn that on.
The power is on. The engine cannot be started whilst the transmission is active.
I don't actually know what transmission is, so I just, you know.
The engine has started.
Okay. Now everything's turned to the on button.
The ventilation system is working.
Alright, so let's follow that back in. If I can get out. Can I look at this?
Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
Okay.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room.
So it probably wasn't Miss White then. If I'm gonna murder somebody, I'm gonna make sure I do it where I can see it. Okay, this way.
Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
Alright, let's go find Watson.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Oh, Watson, they're not gonna hurt you.
Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
That is correct. You are right. See, I bet that means we can make some stuff. Let's get rid of... Alright, so we know the ventilation was used to kill him. We know... that as well. We know that somehow. Oh, okay. Alright, so we locked everything. Now it's just a matter of getting all of the things we need to get. Albert had the biological knowledge to stimulate the dead plants. Sect is not involved if we're going to implicate Albert. Partial theft. This creates that Albert killed Dunn. Albert killed his own father, Montague Dunn. Dunn had humiliated his son, repeatedly obscuring his dreams and breaking his spirit. That's one option. The next option is Albert didn't really have the experience since he wasn't very good at botany. So So if Albert didn't do it, could White have done it? Where's White's knowledge? She had the biological knowledge to stimulate the deadly plants. Because she's a good student. So, could White have killed Dunn? Margaret White killed Montague Dunn. Her professional ambition and personal situation had been damaged by the breakup with Dunn. That's an option as well. The next one, Martin Hamish. Hamish's motive. Hamish's opportunity. Let's get rid of this one because it's red. That connects to Hamish is guilty. Martin Hamish could be the killer. He had the opportunity to steal the Divine Syndicate plans and stimulate them from his workplace. Directly after he locked Montague Dunn inside the Colonial Collection Room. Arrest Martin Hamish. Effect the arrest of Martin Hamish. Alright, let's do that. And
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
alright, Watson wants us to go to Scotland Yard, so let's do that. Alright, so we're gonna head over to Scotland Yard and be all like, hey, we think Martin Hamish did it. Alright. Let's go talk to Inspector Lestrade, who's probably in his office. Which we could just walk right into, I guess.
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
What are your
Very good.
hands
I
underneath
shall wait
the,
to hear from you.
the desk? I knew it, but I wanted to make sure Sherlock knew it first. Just to confirm that we're always right in bringing in Sherlock. Poor guy. He knows he's severely outclassed by Sherlock's investigative instincts, but there's nothing he can do about it. He does the day-to-day work of just stopping regular criminals and knowing that he has to just bring in Sherlock when he can. You feel for Lestrade sometimes. You know, I think I'm going to cut out like all of the loading screens just to see how long this is without the loading screens.
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
What's the difference between a glass house and a greenhouse? Oh.
Holmes, my God!
Yep.
Yes. We found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like a minute. The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Shouldn't Watson be doing this part? Poor guy, he has so much knowledge. Life is becoming a living hell. I find it unbearable. Dunn deserved to die, but I cannot forgive myself for having his blood on my hands. We, harmless, seem to have always fallen victim to our circumstances, and I find myself to be no exception. I must atone, and I shall do so here and now. Farewell. Wow.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
Is it? Worn down double heel of his left shoe reveals that Martin Hamish suffered from a club foot. Martin Hamish admitted to murdering Montague Dung in his suicide note. Hamish acted alone. Martin Hamish was unable to run due to his club foot. Therefore, we should find out that he had sufficient time to lock the door to the Colonial Collection Room and activate the ventilation system. Did he have an accomplice? Talk to Lestrade. Discuss with Lestrade the possible impact of new clues found on the body of Martin Hamish. Alright, let's do that.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do.
Oh, be nice.
You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person is...
Side is questionable.
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Did someone else...
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
Or
I have
they
another
lied.
idea, Inspector.
They killed
Thanks
him
to
too.
the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
with a timeline, such as we did in the Jack
Jack the Ripper case was really fun too. You should go play that one too.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Alright. Oh good, I just get to go straight there.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Alright, this one's green. So I put it on the green timeline. Albert meets Montague Dung and Martin Hamish at the Speed House. 9:30. So 9:30. That goes there. This one's also green. Albert was in the Speed House the entire morning. He observed returning from his visiting Miss White 10 minutes past 10. 10 past 10. There we go. Martin Hamish returns 10 past 10. Oh, wrong color. Montague Dung is poisoned. Mr. Montague Dung was unwell, which was at around 10:30. Miss White joins Hamish and Albert at the Water Lily greenhouse at 10:40. Miss White is talking with Martin Hamish in the laboratory at 10 o'clock. Martin Hamish returns to the Seed House after 10 minutes It was around 20 minutes to 10 when Hamish and Montague Dunn went to the backyard. After 10 minutes, Dunn recounted his such tiny print, and I put the Twitch screen over there, and entered the dry topics room. Hamish returned to the seat house. Montague Dunn is in the dry tropics room. Around 20 minutes to 10. After 10 minutes, at 20 minutes to 10, which is 10:30. No, that can't be right. Oh, 20 minutes to 10. So then it becomes 10 to 10. This is fun.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Alright, let's see. Let's see. Oh. Albert's timeline. Hamish's timeline. And White and Hamish. Alright, there we go. We got everybody's. So let's make our deductions. Let's start with just that he did it alone. Let's start. Let me move up. There we go. Alright. Dunn was poisoned. We knew that. Sect is not involved. Hamish's motive. Hamish is guilty. Albert's lack of experience. Theft and murder. Partial theft, we're good. Hamish acted alone. Albert is not involved. White is not involved. And that is how we get Hamish did it alone. However, as likely as this is, it still doesn't work with the fact that he has a club foot. So, his other accomplice, or his accomplice, could be Albert. So, let's get Albert. Let's start at the beginning. Dunn was poisoned. We know that. Sect is not involved because we're trying to accuse Albert. We're going to keep Hamish's motive, and Hamish is guilty. Well, Hamish's motive. We're going to change this back to Albert's lack of experience. So that we can continue that Hamish is guilty here. Okay. Albert's motive. Theft and murder. Partial theft. Hamish acted alone. Albert had time. that concludes that Albert is an accomplice. Albert was Martin Hamish's accomplice in killing Montague Dunn. Humiliated repeatedly by his father and denied his dreams, Albert resolved to aid and abet the murder. But he was crying when we met him. He was definitely upset that his father was dead. So if it wasn't Albert, that means it was Mrs. White. It's unlikely that Albert would have the opportunity, and 10 minutes would not have been enough to lock the door of the colonial collection room. So, Miss White had 20 minutes. It would have been enough to trap Montague Dunn. She would have locked the door and alerted Martin Hamish to activate the ventilation system. All of that equals White is an accomplice. Okay. So, we know that White did it. And there's an achievement in here if I act fast enough. Which I'm not sure if I did the first time I played or not. I'll have to check back through my old achievements and see.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
Ouch!
I am using it. I do use it.
I'm a doctor,
Now that the
Holmes.
rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate.
This is the end? This is the last cutscene of this case.
Just one moment. Now listen to me, Watson. I shall see her alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing good.
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me. But she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
He's always been interested in one woman. He calls her the woman in some of the books. I think she's actually only in one of the stories, now that I think about it.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
Really?
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide.
And killing the other one.
It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop!
Right, if I act quickly, I can stop her from suicide, and I get an achievement. So that is the important thing. Step forward.
I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Okay. Give me another step forward. Step forward.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Okay.
Not one step further.
Alright, get a little
Don't
bit
try
closer
to
to
stop me.
Watson. Alright, Sherlock's shaking his hand.
Stop this foolishness.
Alright, here comes
You
Watson.
cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Alright, come on, Watson. Alright. Man, this is intense. That's not fair! I hit the
I'm afraid not.
Man,
The poison
I
has
gotta
been
play the whole
fulgurating.
part
Her heart
over
stopped
again.
instantly, poor child.
Yeah. Yay. So, that is the 5th case in Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I have to try again to stop her from committing suicide because I get an achievement if I do. And I appreciate everybody who came by and stopped by and watched me. If you liked it, please follow me on Twitch. And for this video up in a few days and other videos in this series and my other series, please go to YouTube. Just search PongoPuppies and you should find me. And I gotta play this one again. I am not happy about that at all. So, thanks everybody again. Please follow me on Twitch. And I hope you enjoyed watching me just ruin the last half of this game. So, thank you everybody, and goodbye.